Today we will discuss about mineral and power resources. In the first part of this lecture we have discussed about mineral resources and their conservation. Now in this lecture we will discuss about power or energy resources. All of you know that energy is required for all activities. It is used for our daily life, like it is needed to cook, to provide light and heat, to propel vehicles, to drive machinery in industries, in transport, agriculture and the communication also. Energy can be generated from fuel minerals like coal, petroleum, natural gas, uranium and electricity. Basically on the basis of their use, energy resources can be classified like as the first is conventional resources and the second is non-conventional resources. At first, we will discuss about the meaning of conventional resources and later on different conventional resources. What is the meaning of conventional resources? The word conventional is related to traditional, and we can say the resources which have been in common use for a long time are known as conventional resources. The resources which have been in common use for a long time are known as conventional resources. In conventional resources, we can include coal, petroleum, natural gas, firewood, and Hydel power also. We can include coal, petroleum, natural gas, Hydel power, and thermal power also. Non-conventional resources. The resources which have been recently developed are considered as non-conventional resources are recently developed source of energy are considered non-conventional resources, and in non-conventional resources we can include sun, wind, water, tides. Example: sun, wind, water, tides, biogas and nuclear energy. At first we will discuss about the conventional resources. The very first is coal. Coal is the most abundantly available fossil fuel. Now the question arises, why is it considered as a fossil fuel? Is it considered as a fossil fuel because it is formed due to the compression of plants material over millions of years? Therefore, it is found in a variety of forms depending on the degrees of compression and the depth and time of burial. It is also used in iron and steel industries, steam engines, steam engines and generate electricity. When electricity is generated from coal, it is known as thermal power. It is also known as fossil fuel, basically used in iron and steel industries and to generate electricity also. Electricity which is generated by coal is known as thermal power. But when electricity is generated from water, it is known as hydel power. Coal is also referred to buried sunshine. Why is it referred as so? Because it was found millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps were buried under the layers of earth. And when it comes in contact of sun rays, it begins to shine. That's why it is known as buried sunshine. The leading producer of coal are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa, and France. It is also known as buried sunshine, and leading producer are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa, and France. And basically in India we can find coal mines in Raniganj, Dhanbad, Bokaro also. Let me discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of coal. Coal advantages and disadvantages. The very first advantage of coal is it is extensively available. That's why it is cheaper than other sources. And the second one is efficient conversion to electricity. It is considered as efficient conversion to electricity because by this mineral resource we can generate electricity easily. But it also has some disadvantages like it is a polluting source. It increases pollution because when coal is used in industries, it releases carbon. That's why it increases pollution, and it is also bulky to transport. The second is petroleum. Petroleum is found between the layers of rocks and found between layers of rocks, and the word petroleum is derived from the petra Latin words petra plus oleum. Petra means rock and oleum means oil. That's why it is also considered as rock oil. It is drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. Then it is sent to refineries which process the crude oil and produce a number of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastic, etc. It is used in petrochemical industries. Petroleum is also known as black gold. Why is it known as black gold? Because its derivatives are valuable And we can see that we can't use our luxurious and essential vehicles without petrol and the other products which are produced by petrol. That's why it is known as black gold. The countries which are considered leading producer are which are considered a leading producer of petrol are leading producer. Basically, in leading producers, Gulf countries are included, and in Gulf countries we can include Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, like Iran, Iraq, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and other countries like Russia, USA, Venezuela, etc. And India also. In India, we can find stock of petroleum in Digboi, which is situated in Assam, Bombay High, deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. Now we will see the advantage and disadvantage of petrol. The very first is it is easy to transport. Petroleum, known as black gold. It is easy to transport. Easy to transport. It can be transported easily with the help of tankers. And the second one is it is considered the base of petrochemical industries. Basis of petrochemical industries. The disadvantages of petroleum are the first is depletion of oxygen due to oil spillage, and second is cause of acid rain. Basically, the polluted which are released by petroleum are considered the cause of acid rain, and its exploration is not easy. Exploration is not easy. The third is firewood. Firewood is widely used for cooking and heating, and in our India, more than 50% of the energy used by villagers comes from firewood. But it is considered to be exhausted soon because the rate of these resources consumption is far greater than their rate of formation, and we can see it takes a long time widely used for cooking and heating. 50% of the energy used by villagers comes from firewood. Basically, firewood is also considered as a fossil fuel, and it also comes in the category of coal, petroleum, and natural gas. The reserves of these minerals are limited because the rate at which the growing world population is consuming them is far greater than the rate of their formation. So these are likely to be exhausted soon. Now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of firewood. The first is easy access. It means everyone can get firewood easily and it is accessible to everyone. The second is provide energy to a large number of people. Provide energy to a large number of people. I have told you that in our India more than 50% of the energy used by villagers comes from firewood. That's why we can say that it provide energy to a large number of people and basically in our villages. But it also has some disadvantages. The first is collection is time consuming. Collection is time consuming because it takes a long time to cut a tree. and it is also considered a polluting source. And the third one is it promotes greenhouse effect. How does it promote greenhouse effect? Basically, it increases the quantity of carbon dioxide in atmosphere, and carbon dioxide is considered the main greenhouse gas. That's why it promotes the greenhouse effect, and it also promotes deforestation. Deforestation is related to cut the trees, and firewood also promotes the cutting of trees, because if we do not cut the trees, then we cannot get firewood easily. The fourth one is Hydel power. The electricity which is generated by water is considered as Hydel power. Electricity generated by water. River water which is stored in dams is made to fall from heights. The falling water flows through pipe inside the dam over turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam. Then the moving blades turn the generator to produce electricity. This is known as hydroelectricity. The water which is discharged after the generation of electricity is used for irrigation. Water which is released used for irrigation. One fourth of the world's electricity is produced by hydel power. One fourth of the electricity is produced by hydel power, and the leading producers of hydel power in the world are Norway, Brazil, and China. Leading producer Norway, Brazil, and China. And in India, we can find some important hydel power stations also, like Bhakra Nangal, Gandhi Sagar, Nagarjun Sagar, and Damodar Valley projects, and Salal Hydroelectric Power Project in Jammu and Kashmir. Gandhi Sagar, Nagarjun Sagar, Damodar Valley, and Salal Hydroelectricity Hydroelectric Power Project. These are considered main power stations in India. Power stations in Now we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of hydel power. It is considered non-polluting, and the second advantage is it promotes irrigation and fishing. Promotes irrigation and fishing. It is cheaper rather than other sources. The disadvantages of hydel power is displacement of local community, because when the water is released after the generating of electricity, then the speed of water can destroy the coastal areas, or we can say it can destroy the lives of the people who live in coastal areas. The second is expensive to set up. Expensive to set up. The fifth is natural gas. Natural gas. It is found with petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. It can be used in domestic and industrial fuel also. Basically, Russia, Norway, UK, and the Netherlands are the major producers of natural gas, and Natural gas is also considered as eco-friendly gas. Why is it considered as eco-friendly gas? Because it emits a low carbon dioxide. That's why it is considered as eco-friendly gas. Eco-friendly gas because it emits low carbon dioxide. In India we can also find the stocks of natural gas. For example, Jaisalmer, Krishna Delta, Tripura, and some areas in Mumbai. In natural gas, we can consider CNG also. CNG, it refers to compressed natural gas. It is a popular eco-friendly automobile fuel as it causes less pollution than petroleum and diesel.